I'm not going to discuss the downsides of social media or video games. If you've clicked on this video, you already know what they are. So we're just going to start straight away with the guide. Step number 1, identify the problem. Admit it out loud. Tell it to someone, write it down, know your reasons why you want to do this and what the negative effects that you've felt from social media and video games are. I can assure you that even if you've thought about this for a long time, just thinking about it is not enough. You have to write it down, you have to tell someone, you have to solidify that thought and that belief into the real world, because your thoughts come and go, and even though you keep having the same thoughts, it just doesn't really count if you want to make progress. And I know it feels uncomfortable to write it down, to journal this, but that is the best way. Step number 2, change your mindset from quitting to making realistic progress. This is all about a lifestyle change and not a challenge. The title of this video is a bit of a clickbait. Quitting is unrealistic. Quitting means you'll literally never go on social media or play video games for the rest of your life till you die. You're obviously not going to be able to manage that. So what's going to happen is, if you truly want to quit, of course within days, weeks, months, you will go back to it, which then means that you failed your goal. Failing your goal brings me on to the next step. Step number 3, the addiction cycle. The addiction cycle goes like this. 1, unrealistic goal. 2, fail the unrealistic goal. 3, upset. And 4, indulge more. I didn't mean for that to rhyme. And obviously number 5 would be just repeat those. So let's break it down. We start with the unrealistic goal that you were never going to be able to manage anyway. So if you clicked on this video, I'm talking to you right now. Your goal is unrealistic. If you want to completely quit social media and video games, that pretty much means you want to quit them for life, because that is what quitting is. You quit heroin, you don't quit something that you know, of course, that you would eventually use it again. Number 2 is self-explanatory. Of course, you're going to fail the unrealistic goal. And number 3, you already know how it feels when you fail the goal. You get upset. You've set a goal, and whether or not you even hold yourself accountable, you know that you failed something that you wanted to do. That really does cause you some stress. I'm pretty sure it causes you real physical pain in your brain. I'm making a lot of rhymes today. And when you feel upset is when you indulge more. What happens after an alcoholic fails his goal of quitting alcohol? He gets upset and then he binge drinks to make himself feel better. What happens after you fail your diet? You get upset and you eat more than normal to make yourself feel better. The addiction cycle is pretty much the binge cycle. Step number 4, destroy your current beliefs about addiction. If you're still addicted to the same things that you've tried to stop, no offense, but clearly whatever you've been doing hasn't been working. Whatever thoughts and plans and ideas and beliefs that you've had in your brain, they are wrong. If you're still addicted to these things and you're searching up a guide, then that means that you most likely went on social media and video games yesterday. So you still have that same addiction, even though you have trusted your brain. So don't trust your brain. Don't trust your thoughts. They haven't led you to quitting the addiction, have they? You need outside help. You need to do some research and get some more knowledge from someone, and then essentially put your trust in a plan that someone else sets for you, because your ideas and your plan has not worked. So put your trust in me. I know that sounds kind of scary. What if I'm wrong? What if I'm pushing you into the wrong thing? What if after you've put your trust in me, step number 9 of this plan is me asking you to PayPal me £50? It won't be. Like I keep saying in all my self-improvement videos, honestly, I don't really gain anything from this. The only way I gain something from my YouTube videos and my self-improvement content is if it genuinely benefits your life. So I actually want you to make some progress here. That's why I've spent some time to figure out this step-by-step guide, and I didn't waste your time with an introduction and stuff. Put your trust in this plan, at least try it. The reason why I've said to destroy your current beliefs about addiction is because pretty much everyone seems to have no knowledge about addiction whatsoever. I can probably guess that your good idea of solving this addiction of social media and video games was to delete the social media apps and to uninstall the video games. Is that something you've thought or something you've done? Because that's the wrong thing to do. That's the same thing as a fat person who wants to lose weight throwing away their junk food. What happens? 1-2 days go by and then they'll go out and buy some more. What happens after an alcoholic throws away his bottle of alcohol with some anger? he'll go and buy more. How long will it take you to download the apps again? 10 seconds. So you, of course, you will go and download them again. How long does it take a person to go to the shop and buy more snacks or alcohol or cigarettes or any substance? So step 5, learn the real way to deal with addictions. You must have that substance right in front of you and have the clear consciousness and the focus on your goals to say no to it. Don't throw it away, don't hide it. You must have it in front of you. You must have the social media apps on your phone and be so clear-headed and so focused on your goal that you don't even want to click on them. So, using my examples from the previous step, a person wanting to lose weight should have the junk food in front of them. That's the whole point, right? You don't want to just throw it away and then only be on this goal whilst you don't have any of the triggers. And the moment you go to a shop, you'll of course rebound. What you want is the opposite. You want to have that most delicious cake and pizza right in front of you and the skill and the control to say no. That's how you really solve an addiction, is when you've got it right in front of you and you say no. So don't delete the apps, don't uninstall the game, have them right in front of you, but be level-headed. Do you know the best way for a smoker to stop smoking cigarettes? Literally have their favorite pack of cigarettes on them at all times. Think about it. If they've got it on them at all times, then they have to be strong enough to say no to it at all times, to not even think about it. The option to smoke is literally always there. If you take away the option to smoke, which is what all the guides that I keep seeing online, which are just stupid, none of those people have done any real research and they're just telling you, like, you know, stupid information, like, oh yeah, throw it out and, you know, destroy all temptation. Like, nah, the temptation is always going to be there. We're not like handicapped kids who are housebound and not allowed to, like, go to the store. If you're an adult, you're watching this, or even a teenager, you will always be able to get to these things. You'll be able to get to your addictions, whether it's social media, alcohol, cigarettes, anything. So you need to have that option to do it 24/7, but actually choose not to. So the smoker who keeps his cigarettes on him is the one who will end up being successful at quitting the addiction, because he always had the option to smoke, but then he had to level up his clear-headedness and his focus to choose to not smoke. So I want you to keep these apps on your phone. I want you to keep these games on your computer and on your PS4. Don't throw away your PS4, keep it. Step 6, how do you get that clear-headedness and focus that I keep mentioning? Mindfulness through meditation. Mindfulness is focus. Mindfulness is literally being clear-headed. The more mindful you are, the more clear-headed and focused you will be on your thoughts. Mindfulness is the simple, easy trick that no one will tell you to do for these addictions, but just give it a try. Once you understand mindfulness more and more, you'll realize that this literally is the one thing. All of these steps that I'm telling you honestly could be boiled down to just mindfulness. That's the truth. Mindfulness is the cure for any addiction, because these addictions come when you aren't thinking right. They come when you're not thinking like level-headedly. Mindfulness keeps that level-headed thinking. So step 7, how do you improve mindfulness? This isn't going to be a meditation video, so I'm just going to make this bit really quick. Here is the mindfulness framework that I made. Put your trust in this. This one little page here, these 4 steps, that plus 1 rep, that's like 1 cycle of mindfulness, 1 extra rep, like 1 bicep curl for training your brain. Put your trust in this little framework. Screenshot it, save it, set it as your wallpaper. Send it to your friends, print it out, rewrite it and redesign it yourself. And just follow this little framework here, because a lot of people have been saying that it's actually helped them understand. I made this specifically for the people who genuinely don't even understand what mindfulness is. So practice this and improve your mindfulness. Not only will it help with your addictions, I genuinely believe it will help you in literally every part of your life. Number 8, truly enjoy these things, but don't overindulge. This brings me back to step 2, where I said that you're trying to make realistic progress. Quitting is unreasonable. You probably don't even want to quit these things. You just want to not have the negative downsides of them. The way to do that is to drastically reduce them to the point that you don't get the negatives from them. But then when you reduce them and you genuinely are doing them in moderation, which is literally like 1 hour a day, you've got to make sure that you're enjoying it. And make sure when you do use it, when you do enjoy it, you don't feel guilty about it. Because that's gonna bring us back to the addiction cycle, feeling upset, indulging again. Number 9, increase delayed gratification. I say this in a lot of my videos. Quitting a substance and an addiction is very hard, but it becomes much, much easier when you replace it with something. So you want to quit social media and video games? Replace it with something else. Replace it with a delayed gratification activity. So when the normal time that you go on social media and you go on video games, identify when that is. Journal it. What time do you go on these? I'm assuming you're going to be one of those people who wake up, grabs their phone straight away and starts scrolling. Are you one of those people? Then you need to create a new behavior to do instead. When do you play video games? You need to create a new behavior for that time, for that mood, because you're usually quite tired and you just want to zone out into something. So you need to have something else to do instead. You can't expect to just give up a substance and then not change anything else, because you're just going to be bored. You need something else to fill up the time that you love enough. You've already heard this advice a million times, but in my opinion, one of the best things that you can replace these instant gratification activities with is exercise. You've heard that so many times, but you probably still aren't exercising consistently. But why? You can do some form of exercise pretty much every single day, and that's an hour of your day just gone. 2 hours if you want to do an extra long one, and you'll actually get some long-term benefits from that. You'll look better, you'll feel better, and all of the things that's happening inside of you will just be better when you exercise. And if you do choose to do exercising, I recommend doing resistance training. A lot of people think exercising is literally just cardio. Like they see exercise and they think, oh, running. And that is literally the one exercise that they've ever done. Like with a lot of the things I say, you have to do your own research. There's so many different styles of exercise. I am adamant that there is a form of exercise that every single one of us will genuinely love with a passion. And if you haven't found that one, if you don't have one of those, that's just because you haven't found it yet. And finally, step number 10, this will happen at the last part. Expect failure. Remain accountable. Write it down that you failed your goal, because it is going to happen. Expect to fail. That's a good thing. Every single failure is a good thing if you counteract it with something positive that aids your self-improvement, and that is accountability. So write that down. Write it down that you failed your goal. Write it down that you're a little bit disappointed about that, because you'll find that as soon as you write those words, your hand will automatically start writing, and you'll be saying, oh, I'm really disappointed, but I'm going to do better tomorrow. The reason why you don't feel like you're going to do better tomorrow is because you haven't wrote it. And you might have thought those thoughts, like I've said earlier, thinking is not enough. Writing and journaling is such a big help for these type of addictions. You'll literally have like a solidified thought on paper, and that is so strong. Don't doubt the power of that. If you can write down your thoughts and even write down the fact that you feel disappointed that you failed at one point, and on one day that you went on social media too much or you played too many games, if you write about it, you'll find that you do feel a little bit bad. And then you get to look back at it and see that, oh, on June 27th, you were disappointed because you played too many games. You're going to read that like 3 times. And it's just going to solidify that same thing in your mind. That's it. A 10-step process for quitting social media and video games. Obviously, quitting is like the clickbait title that I'm using, because I know that's what like the kids are searching up. You don't want to quit. You want to realistically reduce it for a long-term lifestyle change. 10 steps. I'll post them in the comments as well in text format. In a bit.